Hi everyone. Today I will be presenting my Capstone Project 1, where I analyze unemployment data in Canada for the year of 2022. The aim of this project is to explore regional unemployment trends, uncover patterns, and provide insights based on data sourced from Kaggle. So, the objective of my project is to analyze labor force trends in Canada, focusing on unemployment rates across provinces throughout 2022. My key questions, which I like to analyze, are which province had the highest average unemployment rate in 2022, which province showed the greatest improvement drop in unemployment rate from January to December 2022, which month had the highest national unemployment rate across all provinces in 2022, which province maintained the lowest average unemployment rate throughout 2022. So the data set that I've used for this project is from Kaggle. The link is here. And the title of the data set is Unemployment Rate in Canada by Province, and it's from 1976 to present. As I mentioned, the source is from Kaggle, and the data was compiled from Statistics Canada. Um, and it is available in CSV format. The tools I used include Google Colab for data cleaning, Python for programming with pandas, uh, Matplotlib and Seaborn for data visualization, and PowerPoint for presenting my findings. And here is a sample of the data set I got from Kaggle. So the raw data set which I had consisted a lot of information. And so I decided to analyze it before so I can see how much information I can gather. So that this data set consists of monthly unemployment rate, as I mentioned, from 1976. But it is from 1976 to January 2023, and it covers all 10 Canadian provinces and includes data on year and month of each record, geographic area, Canada and provinces, age group from 15 to 64, employment, unemployment, and labor force numbers, part-time, full-time employment categories, seasonal adjusted data for accurate trend analysis. Um, so the monthly structure makes the data easier to work with than the official StatsCan files, which which can be a little bit overwhelming. So here, these are the steps I took for data cleaning. And so I first started analyzing the raw data, as I mentioned. And so these are the codes which I've used, and um, I have snapshots of the codes which I used. And so in step one, I loaded the raw data unemployment using pd.read underscore CSV bracket and previewed it with df.head bracket. In step two, I checked all the unique values in the ref underscore date column and verified the data set contained monthly data from 1976 to January 2023. In step three, I loaded the data set again using pd.read underscore CSV brackets and reviewed the basic structure using df.info bracket to check for missing values. I also displayed summary statistics using df describe brackets. So these are the things, the information that I pulled out. And so in step 4, uh, it involved preparing and formatting the data. So I renamed the columns for clarity, such as changing ref underscore date to date and geo to provinces. Then I converted the date column to proper date format and extracted the year and month into separate columns. After filtering for the relevant data from January 2022 to January 2023 in the 15 to 64 age groups. I selected the key columns and removed rows which were missing or had null values. Lastly, I pivoted the data so that each province had columns from each month year with the unemployment values. So here's the sample data set, and so I did this so it was more easier for me to look at the data and see how much information there was. So in order for me to reset the index to make the table clean and easier to analyze. So here's the fifth step with the sample code here. I loaded the clean data and renamed the columns for clarity and ensuring the month column were readable in a readable format. Then I filtered the data to include only records from January to December 2022, as I found that the January 2023 was not enough data, and ensured that the months were in chronicle order. And finally, I cleaned the data set and then exported it to a new CSV file, which I downloaded, clean underscore unemployment underscore 2022 dot CSV. So here is my sixth step. My so here in the sixth step, I loaded the data, the cleaned data set from clean underscore unemployment underscore 2022 dot CSV. Then I displayed the first few rows to verify the structure and used df dot info brackets to check for missing values. I also used df dot describe brackets to view summary status for each month and confirm the numerical consistency of the unemployment value. So this is the cleaned data analysis, which I got from my final data set, which included 11 rows, one for each province, and 12 columns, one for each month in 2022. So key trends which I observed include Canada as a whole had the highest unemployment in January 2022. Um, that is, the numbers are presented here, and the lowest in December 2022, with the Ontario being the highest unemployment and peaking at 600 um, people. 600,000 people in January. So Prince Edward Island had the lowest unemployment, dropping to 4,300 people in December. And Alberta in Quebec was noticeably a drop in unemployment from January to December. So almost every province, I saw a decrease in unemployment from January to December in 2022, showing signs of economic recovery from COVID-related impacts. So here is the visualizations which I have uncovered from this data set. So this is the monthly unemployment by province for the year 2022. And this bar um, so this line chart shows the monthly unemployment trends across provinces in 2022. As you can see, Ontario had the highest average unemployment, and while Prince Edward Island had the lowest. The visualization highlights the regional uh, uh, it's relatively unstable patterns here. So we can see how the unemployment rate affected each provinces. So here is the bar chart. And for the bar chart, it compares the average unemployment rate across provinces in 2022. And if you can see here, that Ontario had the highest average unemployment, while Prince Edward Island had the lowest. This visualization um, highlights the regional disparities in the unemployment rates. So here is the line chart, which I wanted to track for all of Canada. And so, in average, the average unemployment in Canada for 2022 was very significantly high in January 2022, and it shows a steady unimpl- uh, it shows a steady improvement in unemployment, um, from over 1.3 million unemployed people in January to around 1 million in December. So here is the pie chart, which I have conducted here. So the pie chart shows each province's share of national unemployment in 2022. As I mentioned, Ontario counted for the largest portion of national unemployment, which emphasizes the regional imbalance across the country. So Ontario here is at 42%, Prince Edward Island is 0.6%. And we can see the second highest unemployment would be Quebec, and then Alberta, British Columbia, and so on and so forth. So these are the conclusions I can concluded with. Is so so here in this capstone project, reflectively, which I examined the unemployment trends in Canada for the year of 2022, utilizing data sourced from Kregel. After processing and visualizing the data set from both Google Colab and the analysis uncovered significant patterns in the labor market. So in January 2022, we saw the highest unemployment rate across most provinces due to seasonal turndowns. Then Western provinces like Saskatchewan and Alberta had consistently low unemployment. Newfoundland and Labrador experienced highest unemployment throughout the year, indicating economic inequalities. Overall, unemployment steadily decreased and signaling an improvement in job market conditions. So these are the questions which I wanted to explore in the beginning, and I found my answers after cleaning the data and analyzing um, the charts and the data. So here, which province had the highest average unemployment rate in 2022? I found Newfoundland and Labrador consistently had the highest average uh, rate, peaking in January and February and remaining above 10% in several um, in several months. In which province it showed the greatest improvement drop in unemployment rate from January to December 2022, which was British Columbia, showed the greatest improvement with its unemployment rate dropping from 5.1% to January into January, which was 4.2% in December, reflecting strong job recovery across the year. And third, which month had the highest national unemployment rate across all provinces in 2022? So in January 2022 recorded the highest national unemployment rate. Um, and so, which province maintained the lowest average unemployment rate throughout 2022 was Saskatchewan, which was one of the lowest average unemployment rate in 2022 and consistently staying below 5%, indicating a stable labor market throughout the year. So thank you so much for your attention. And if you have any questions or further clarifications, please feel free to reach out to me and I will be happy to answer any of your queries or your questions that you may have. Thank you so much for your time. Have yourself a great day.